Charged me 200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3 or 4 hours. My neck started hurting. You know, you might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but you know, it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant for?
3, just for a pendant. Right here, this is Antarctica. It's the big boy. This machine called it Antarctica. It's the chandelier. But I might have seen they Cali with this on. It's that big boy, you know.
How much is it worth?
$2 million.
Yeah. So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino, it's a lot of legends.
Rick Ross just inked a record-breaking $120 million deal with Big Meech for full creative control over future BMF recordings. 50 Cent is also incensed. The deal purports to cover the rights to films, TV series, documentaries, and merchandise, depriving him of 50% of the popular brand he helped establish.
Saying that you know, the way we grew up, you're supposed to spend no more than 10 or 20% of what you make.
According to those close to 50, he was completely duped by Meech, whom he had supported for years throughout the BMF series, and was not aware that the deal was being negotiated. Ross immediately celebrated with an enigmatic message. The real bosses move in silence until it's time to collect. Disloyalty at its finest. In reaction, 50 wrote in a harsh Instagram post, "This is the appreciation I get for bringing BMF worldwide." According to industry sources, this might result in one of the most intense rivalries between two of the biggest hip-hop moguls in history. Many have been astonished by Big Meech's involvement. Big Meech has now openly addressed 50 Cent and leveled accusations that cut to the core of their tense relationship. 50 has allegedly been controlling Lil Meech, causing a gap between father and son and destroying family ties. According to Meech, given the dramatic rise in tensions, there are no signs that these impacts will decrease.
I was able to do it because, you know, like financially, I was supporting the idea, and I believe you could do it. He had moved to California and was working with acting coaches.
Meech's distance from Rick Ross grew when he was released from prison, especially after he was seen hanging out with Ross, which reportedly caused conflict in his business operations. This public meeting with Ross marked a significant shift and quickly shattered what remained of Meech's connection with 50. Pictured in the center is Lil Meech, who initially stood solidly in support of 50 Cent and showed his unwavering dedication through statements and deeds in public. Recent occurrences, however, indicate a clear change. Currently, Lil Meech and Big Meech seem to concur with Rick Ross, suggesting a restructured collaboration and raising questions about their long-term objectives. The turning point appears to have been 50 Cent's criticism of Big Meech's parenting approach. 50 accused Lil Meech of supporting his alleged drug usage and reckless behavior, saying that he was more of a burden than a mentor in an ongoing story of legacy, effect, and dedication. This public uproar represents a turning moment, a dispute that now goes beyond family and corporate politics.
50 Cent.
Best memory of 50 Cent? Ever since I met 50 Cent, he's always been stand up and...
Flunnery's father-son combo is reportedly putting on a counteroffensive and a media campaign that will drastically change the BMF's current narrative. Big Meech and Lil Meech are reportedly in early talks to collaborate with Floyd Mayweather and Rick Ross on a new BMF event series, according to recent industry rumors. According to others, the goal is to rival 50 Cent's current television portrayal of the Black Mafia family. Insiders disagree, though. People like Floyd and Ross, who are known for utilizing high-profile partnerships to boost their own financial and branding interests, are speculating that Meech and his child would be utilized for their own personal gain. A lot of individuals believe that this strategy would fail. Although the concept of a competing BMF series is bold, some argue that the Fenaris would lose significance in their own story if they allied themselves with other powerful figures. The primary cause of this deadlock is Big Meech's demand that 50 Cent not be permitted to utilize his name without permission. when 50 publicly accused Meech of harming Lil Meech and questioned his parenting. Tensions between all parties sharply rose. 50's comments, which suggested that the BMF performance was nearing its conclusion, heightened interest even further.
Trying to find myself. My dad was calling me from jail every day. He was like, man, what you gonna do? Like, shit, I don't know. I always knew I wanted to be my own person. It's just hard, to live up to my dad's name. And he called me one day, he's like, man, they looking at Terrence Howard and Nipsey Hussle. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to play me, but you gotta go to acting class so you can get ready. So I met 50. 50 put me in acting classes for 2 years in LA. Invested in me, paid for the acting class. I had to go every day, 2 times a day, 5 days a week. In the morning, in the afternoon, come back home, study again, do the same thing the next day.
Wow, that ball player.
Yeah, but I put in the work though, and it showed me that 50 couldn't get me the job. I had to get myself the job. My dad couldn't get me the job. They would have hired somebody else that already had acting experience.
It seems that Lil Meech was aware of the repercussions and tried to minimize the harm. He reportedly spoke directly with 50 Cent, claiming that the widely circulated image of Big Meech and Rick Ross, which is said to have sparked the argument, was merely a contractual requirement. Tension has only risen as a result of his attempts to defuse the situation. In a message allegedly sent to 50 Cent, Lil Meech attempted to address the widely shared dispute by asserting that Rick Ross assisted Big Meech in overcoming a challenging period by helping to pay for necessities till the beginning of the upcoming BMF season. This was due to the ambiguous future of the BMF legacy and the way it was portrayed on television. Ross offered my dad some bread to help him pay his bills till the beginning of our new season. Reports state that Lil Meech explained, "I'm confused." By 50 Cent remained entirely unaffected by the explanation, despite the attempt at reconciliation. Rather than embracing the message, 50 cryptically asked what the next season would bring, implying that Lil Meech's time in the BMF series might already be coming to an end, according to sources who say his response was chilly and calculated. His next move was even more scathing. In a public statement, he ridiculed Lil Meech's possible entertainment future, suggesting that he may soon appear on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and that he will call Mona Scott to arrange it. An old video that Meech and Rick Ross discovered allegedly showed Lil Meech with Ross's daughter, Toy Roberts, in what appeared to be an effort to paint both men as poor role models who neglected to provide their children the education they required. He uploaded the video to the internet. The fact that the conduct touched a human nerve showed that the feud had escalated to the point where legacy and reputation were at risk, surpassing TV contracts and social media criticism. By openly denouncing Rick Ross's lack of participation in Big Meech's legal proceedings, 50 Cent fanned the flames. Ross's unexpected alliance with the Fennery family suddenly seemed opportunistic, he said. Why didn't he prepare for this by sending Meech to acting school? Role? 50 said something hurtful. The purpose of the questions was to highlight inconsistencies and tense ties amongst coalitions. They were not rhetorical. The public's response indicates that they have already had a long-lasting impact. 50 Cent didn't hold back as tensions rose. While Big Meech was incarcerated, he wrote a witty essay reminding everyone of his lifetime of service to the Fennery family, saying that he was the one who truly provided possibilities while others weren't there. Through marketing and real business, he credited himself with maintaining the BMF brand's viability and relevance. The BMF series alone contributed to the creation of 50 claims. I said bluntly, now that it's all gone, that's not on me. The remark shocked fan networks and produced a schism in public opinion right away. On other occasions, he claimed that the family's actual revenues exceeded $5 million. After that, he charged Lil Meech with squandering the entire show's profits. Others contended that 50's attitude was warranted, particularly considering the years of professional investment, coaching, and branding intended to validate the Fennery history, while others claimed that he was too fast to end things following just one Rick Ross business opportunity. But we contributed his viewpoint to the firestorm by joining the group of prominent figures in the industry who began to express their perspectives. The tone of his SMS message was inappropriate considering the importance of the situation, he added. There was not the passion and energy one would expect when a parent figure is being questioned in public, he said. If I had been in his position, The response would have been much more direct, perhaps even aggressive, he stated. The drama that was developing became even more complicated as a result of this interpretation, which also brought up more profound issues of how to interact with others, respect different generations, and show loyalty when one's personal and professional objectives seemed to be at odds in public. As more people joined in, it became evident that this disagreement had developed well beyond the general public's awareness. The case study had turned into one of betrayal, perception, and shattered legacy. The miscommunication was simple. 50 Cent reiterated that he had a bigger influence on Lil Meech's career than Big Meech in response to Boosie's public remarks and growing criticism. In an interview with Boosie, 50 posted a video along with the scathing comment, "I did more for Meech than anyone in his life." This was a simple counter-argument, stressing his conviction that loyalty ought to be judged by action rather than emotion, but it took a more serious turn. Farther with disclosures that startled industry watchers. The BMF television show's lead actor, Russell Hornsby, ILLEGEDLY witnessed Lil Meech show clear indications of intoxication during a pistol training session. 50 claims that Meech caused an emergency reaction when he began vomiting on stage. During interrogation, Meech acknowledged that he had whippets, or nitrous oxide inhalants, in his car. This was something he had alluded to in his TV show Power, which regularly addresses drug usage and covert addictions. This issue extended beyond production. It was a manifestation of a broader worry about self-control, appearance, and by sharing an enigmatic image on Instagram that implied strategic decisions were being made behind closed doors, Lil Meech instantly increased the tension. Even though Meech and Rick Ross are rumored to be considering filming their own BMF movie, they face a big legal obstacle. The message was obvious, the board was in play, and alliances were shifting. According to those with understanding of the entertainment industry, 50 Cent still holds the sole rights to the BMF tale on television and in movies. This implies that without his express permission, no project utilizing the BMF name or appearance may proceed. One significant aspect is that any attempt to proceed with a rival initiative may result in legal action, trademark confusion, or both. One significant fact is allegedly unaffected by the intensity of the dispute between 50 Cent and the Fenori family. All of the BMF film and television properties are still owned by 50 Cent's G Unit. It is not anticipated that these controls would alter in any manner. Gunna is taking the initiative and preparing to grow the BMF brand in spite of the recent criticism. Strategic control is one of the primary projects presently underway, according to recent claims verified by TMZ. This might entail putting creative ambitions on ice unless negotiations with 50 Cent take an improbable and sudden turn. The biopic centers on Tammy Cowens, a businessman who was instrumental in BMF's financial and administrative operations. This well-thought-out action shows 50 Cent's resolve to alter the way the BMF narrative is perceived and confirms his authority over this storytelling rights. The public still supports 50, especially among devoted followers and business people who think his account of what happened is the most accurate. However, Lil Meech is under growing criticism for his handling of the opportunity, with some arguing that he squandered all of the estimated money he received from appearing on the show. It will be roughly $5 million in a few years. He allegedly spent the money on pricey designer clothing, jeans, iced-out watches, transient joys, monogrammed chrome hearts, and exotic cars rather than securing his financial future. His lifestyle became a spectacle when he revealed in public that he had spent $2 million on a single watch because of the widespread internet dissemination of these displays, which brought scathing criticism from fans and industry experts alike. Critics contend that the ostensibly excessive spending betrays deeper problems with judgment, maturity, and lost chances. With Lil Meech on the sidelines and Gunna expanding its footprint, the future of his uncertainty surrounds engagement with BMF-related media, but new partnership discussions are rife with uncertainties. Will Lil Meech be permitted to rejoin the franchise, or is this a permanent change? In a recent remark, Tony Yao stated, Lil Meech has begun to show signs of entitlement. Big Meech allegedly asked artists like Lil Baby to help settle his bills. And shortly after, he allegedly spent $100,000 on a single pair of pricey pants, according to industry accusations. Since Meech only a few weeks ago pledged loyalty to 50 Cent and broke up with Rick Ross, this conduct has stoked a great deal of mistrust. Since then, the roles have seen tremendous alteration. Competitors, and that sudden shift has raised more complex questions about timing, loyalty, and long-term strategy. According to reports, Big Meech and Lil Meech are attempting to challenge the dominance of 50 Cent's TV series by negotiating with Floyd Mayweather and Rick Ross to launch a rival BMF film project. Two well-known individuals are supporting a new film adaptation of the BMF story, which initially seems ambitious. However, problems soon emerge. Big Meech no longer owns the rights to his life story, and even if the project were to move forward, it would be necessary to negotiate or purchase those rights, which are still owned by Gannett Film and Television. The situation is being closely monitored by many in the sector. Although headlines pique public attention, what is displayed on screens and who benefits from it will ultimately depend on ownership rights and contracts. This has to do with legacy and intellectual property, and it extends beyond just presenting stories. The question then becomes, was 50 Cent correct when he said that Big Meech had a bad effect on his son? Is this truly an artistic endeavor, or is it merely a calculated act of revenge against 50 Cent to sabotage his cultural momentum and financial clout? Do you believe that Mayweather's actions are a calculated business move or retaliation? Kindly leave your comments in the space provided below. As this narrative progresses, remember to like and subscribe for additional updates. Remember to view the next video as well.